read that in the Apocrypha? Or as Mo would say, didn't we just read that out the Apocrypha? Go ahead.
For as much as thou sawest that the stone was cut out of the mountain.
That's Yahushua. We're waiting for Yahushua. Go ahead.
Without hands, and that it break in pieces the iron, the brass, the clay, the silver, and the gold. The great power hath made known to the king what shall come to pass hereafter. And the dream is certain, and the interpretation thereof sure.
Yeah, the dream, that means the dream's going to come to pass. All right, now let's go back to the Apocrypha where we left off. So we're reading about that dream again because guess what? Ezra got the same dream. The same vision. Guess what? John, the Revelator, he got the same vision. Go ahead. Matter of fact, it says in 2nd Ezra, what is it, the 12th, there's an 11th chapter. In the 12th chapter, if you can get it real quick, he said, this dream was given to your brother Daniel to further confirm what we're saying. Go ahead.
This is 2nd Ezra 12:9. For thou hast judged me worthy to show me the last times. And he said unto me.
This is Ezra speaking. Go ahead.
And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea.
That's the Roman Empire.
Is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Daniel saw it as a beast with many heads and many horns, diverse from the other beasts. That's the Roman Empire, which we're in the last leg of the Roman Empire. Go ahead.
But
that's why D.C., which we went down there about a month ago, looks like a scene out of the damn Roman Empire, man. The Roman architecture. Go ahead.
But it was not expounded unto him. Therefore now I declare it unto thee.
Yeah, because the Most High didn't give Daniel everything. Daniel didn't understand what he was writing. All right, go ahead.
This is back in 2nd Ezra 13:9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war. But only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight.
That's America, the EU, NATO, any other nation that cares to make war with the Lord. He's going to blast all of them. Go ahead, and very soon. Like I said, 2012 is right around the corner. And watch out for Eve of Destruction 2012. Go ahead.
And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight, and burned them up every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw
that dust and smell of smoke is going to be their incinerated bodies. Go ahead.
When I saw this, I was afraid. Afterward I saw the same man come down from the mountain, and call unto him another peaceable multitude. And there came much people unto him, whereof some were glad, some were sorry, some of them were bound, and others some brought of them that were offered.
Some were bound. That means he saw Israelites gathered together, gathering them other nations, Esau, the rest of the nations, and had them bound. And had them in, and we're putting them in. That's when the destruction comes, that's when you're going to go into captivity, man. It's going to be almost simultaneously when the missiles drop and destroy your ass, but the U.S. is going to be destroyed. Babylon the Great is going to be destroyed. There's going to be no more. So where are we going to go? We're going to go down to the wilderness. We're going to go around the world. We're going to go to Europe, different parts where Edomites are scattered abroad, and we're going to shackle them up because we're going to have the power, and we're going to lead them into slavery. You watch some old movies where they got rows of people tied up and they got guys hitting them in the back with a spear saying, move it, and then if you fall, you get kicked in the head and we drag your ass back up and you might die, and we might slap the spirit back in your ass and raise your ass back up and keep your ass walking, man, or we might just leave your ass there. Go ahead. And then the first ones that's going to get it are you damn Rothschilds and you super rich bankers, man. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 39:8. Behold, it is come and it is done, saith the Lord power. This is the day whereof I have spoken. And they that dwell in the cities of Israel shall go forth, and shall set on fire and burn the weapons, both the shields and the bucklers, the bows and the arrows, and the handstaffs and the spears, and they shall burn them with fire 7 years, so that they shall take no wood out of the field, neither cut down any out of the forest. For they shall burn the weapons with fire, and they shall spoil those that spoiled them, and rob those that robbed them, saith the Lord.
That's plain. What, name that scripture again?
Ezekiel 39, verses 8 to 10.
They shall spoil those that spoiled them, and what?
And rob those that robbed them.
And rob those that robbed them. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord power. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will give unto Gog a place there of graves in Israel, the valley of the passengers on the east of the sea.
Yeah, because they're going to be buried in the land, in the Middle East. There's going to be dead bodies strewn all over the damn place. You're going to see a head over here, arm over there, a torso over there, a half burnt out leg. And then we're going to gather up slaves to dig holes, and we're going to bury them in it. They're going to get buried in the damn soil. And then there's going to be flags there where you know that there was freshly dead, buried bodies there. Go ahead.
And it shall stop the noses of the passengers, and they shall bury Gog and all his multitude, and they shall call it the valley of Hamon-Gog. And 7 months shall the house of Israel be burying of them, that they may cleanse the land. Yea, all the people of the land shall bury them, and it shall be to them a renown, the day that I shall be glorified, saith the Lord power. And they shall sever out men of continual employment, passing through the land to...
Now look up the word employment. The word employment, when you check that word out, it really means that of a employer and an employee. That of employer is a master, and employee is a slave. So the word there should be slave. We're going to sever out slaves. Okay?
Yeah, the Hebrew word there is thamayad, which means continuity, perpetuity, or perpetuity, to stretch, continually, continuously, continuity. And down here it says men of continuance, i.e. hired for continuous work.
Because they can't say, well, I don't feel like working. You know, you're going to work because we're going to make you work because you're going to be our slaves. Isaiah 6:1. Go ahead.
Isaiah 6:1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord.
This is another example how the Lord came down. He came down to Isaiah, and he also came down in a ship accompanied by angels in smaller ships, which are shuttle ships. There was a so-called, for lack of a better term, a mothership. Then you had these smaller ships. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 6, verse 1. In the year that King Uzziah died, I saw also the Lord sitting upon a throne, high and lifted up, and his train filled the temple. Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings.
Right. A seraphim means flying fiery serpents. All right? Fiery serpents. That's what it means. Go ahead.
Above it stood the seraphims. Each one had 6 wings. With twain he covered his face, and with twain he covered his feet, and with twain he did fly.
That's talking about those shuttle ships that came out of the so-called mothership. Go ahead.
And one cried unto another and said, Holy, holy, holy is the Lord of hosts. The whole earth is full of his glory. And the posts of the door moved at the voice of him that cried, and the house was filled with smoke. Then said I, Woe is me, for I am undone, because I am a man of unclean lips, and I dwell in the midst of a people of unclean lips. For mine eyes have seen the King, the Lord of hosts. Then flew one of the seraphims unto me, having a live coal in his hand, which he had taken with the tongs from off the altar. And he laid it upon my mouth, and said, Lo, this hath touched thy lips, and thine iniquity is taken away, and thy sin purged. Also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, Whom shall I send, and whom will go for us? Then said I, Here am I, send me. And he said, Go and tell his people, Hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, but perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert, and be healed. Then said I, Lord, how long? And he answered, Until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly desolate, and the Lord have removed men far away, and there be a great forsaken in the midst